The next step is to apply audio compression to smooth out the dynamics after these edits have been performed. Now the audio compressor I'm using is the built-in compressor with Pro Tools DIN 3 compressor limiter. Now in terms of signal flow, should the compressor go first or should the equalizer filter be first? Now if traditionally with analog production, when we were dealing with hardware and analog EQs, compressors and analog tape, it was very important to compress first before equalization. And the reason for that, if I just move it here, compress first before equalization. The main reason for that is if in your equalizer you were about to increase a certain frequency, for example like that, and if there was dynamic information in the track that was presenting a problem, especially at this range, then you're compounding the level output for that channel. And in the analog days you would quite easily overload a mixer's input or internal dynamics of the console. If you are filtering, then it's different, because filtering you are cutting out frequencies. So in this case it's okay, no problem. It's actually probably good practice to filter first then compress, but certainly if you are going to boost any area of the spectrum like I just demonstrated, then you are far better to compress first than equalize. Now the compressor itself may actually change some of the tonal characteristics of the sound, meaning that you may find you need to equalize after compressing. Now the basic parameters of any compressor will be the threshold at which volume level, audio level, will this compressor start working. You can see the slope 1:1, the threshold point, and after that the compression ratio will affect the audio signal and reduce the level by a ratio that you specify. So for human voice, dialogue, singing voice, compression ratio anything from 1:1, which is no compression, to around 4:1 to 5:1 is generally the range. If you have someone really screaming and they really cannot control the dynamics, you may end up using a higher compression ratio, but it may really affect the tone, the timbre of the voice. If I solo the vocal track, now that's severe compression. You can see the amount of audio level being reduced. Now if the attack rate and the release rate are fast, you will induce what is referred to as a pumping effect. So let me turn the computer output up. Now that's really extreme compression, so I'll raise the threshold. So with a fast attack and a fast release, what you need to understand is your sound source. So for human voice, I mean the attack rate here is below milliseconds. I think it's nanoseconds. So if your sound source is very slow to begin, meaning human voice as an example, as compared to a very sharp percussive sound, if I was to clap my hands, that sound is contains a very quick beginning to the sound. If that's the case, you would want a fast attack so that the compressor will act upon that dynamic sound quickly. But for human voice, you want more of a more slower attack, and you really need to listen whilst you're adjusting the attack and the release. So again, if it's a slow attack, the compressor will take time to begin working once that audio level has been triggered. So your threshold is like your trigger point in terms of audio level. As the audio level rises up to the threshold point, at this threshold point, bang, then the compressor will start to work. So just be mindful of the attack, which is time-based, as well as the release. So the release, if you have a slow release, that means the compressor will take a longer time to stop compressing. And it can yield a very, 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 very different result if I have a slow attack, slow release. Compared to fast attack, slow release. Fast attack, fast release.
Yeah. So I
put that to a kind of a slow, not slow, but anything above and or around 30 milliseconds, you can take that as a starting point and vary it from there.
Tanaketa farang ra le de den kiwan nairach Iskadog to barbre hart mas fear.
So what you want is the quietest moment in the vocal. You do not want the compressor working. So these quiet passages. So again, listen very carefully. Listen for the tone to be affected by the attack and the release and the ratio. Now, the soft knee, watch the shape of the one-to-one slope, threshold point, and the compressor begins to work at a certain ratio. The soft knee will create a smoothing effect, so it's more gradual into the compression, which is quite favorable and commonly used for human voice, for singing. So it's a more gentle bringing in of the compressor.